Howdy, and welcome to Stream of Card Consciousness. I am Mark Ford, and as always, joined by my friend, my brother up in the Panhandle, Greg Smith. Greg, how you doing tonight?
If I was doing any better, Mark, it'd be illegal, man. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah,
Ready for
let's.
some more SOC after dark here. I just got home from work.
I, this is probably the earliest you've been home from work in months, isn't it?
Yeah, they just opened up two new lanes on Die 4, so that Champions Gate bottleneck where I would sit for an hour and a half. I almost started crying because I was just going through, and I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. I've been dealing with this for 3 years, just sitting still. I really, literally almost started weeping.
It's amazing how much gas is wasted waiting for stuff on I-4, isn't it? It's
Gas
crazy.
and time. So, I mean, I got home in an hour and 45 minutes. Usually it takes me 3 hours, so it was a
That's
miracle. It was a
that's
miracle.
great. Just in time for school to end, too, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
What you got? What you got tonight for us? You got some cards of the week, or you want
Yeah,
me to
I got some
start?
cards of the week. I'll make it real quick. But these are some really pretty cool, pretty funny cards of the week. Um, Leading off with Shooter McGavin.
Nice.
Happy Gilmore Shooter McGavin rookie card. Love Shooter McGavin. I got to hang out with Christopher McDonald a little bit with Jim Kelly, and first time I met him, we were sitting around his campfire and doing adult things, and I go Shooter, and he looked at me like I had three heads, and I was like, wow, that's kind of embarrassing. I just Shooter McGavin, Christopher McDonald, so
Yeah.
that was a little mortifying, but we had a good time.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Yeah, it's on the
No.
back. It says that on the back. It says may or may not eat pieces of shit for breakfast.
Nice.
So yeah, that's there, man. So Shooter McGavin may or
I
may
had
not
no
eat.
idea that worked perfect.
Yeah, right on. Uh-oh, my camera's all. What happened to
Oh
me?
yeah, you're fuzzy.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Technical
Problem.
difficulties.
Technical difficulties. There we go.
Oh, there
I'm
you go.
back. All
You're
right.
coming back.
Yeah. So
No,
the
well,
next
you're fading in and out, man.
am I?
Yeah.
We might have to start over.
No, no. No, we can add later, man. We're good.
All right.
Or we can just see Fuzzy Mark the whole show, man.
Yeah,
Who
Fuzzy
cares?
Mario. I got Jackie Moon. Jackie Moon rookie card.
Nice from semi-pro. Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Jackie Moon.
Yeah,
And
you're clear now.
all right. Jackie Moon. So while I'm clear, Jackie Moon, Jackie Moon.
And
I got these.
what's the grade
Oh,
on the
this is
moon?
Stellar Grading Company. This is 2024 Headworms. The grading company is BSA, so probably like bullshit America or something. Bullshit authentic, so BSA. So that's a BSA 10, baby. So there's
And what
not too
is
many of those. BSA 10.
worms? Is that like a brand?
I
Are
don't know.
headworms a brand? What does that mean?
Headworms, I don't know.
Okay, well,
Headworms,
there you go.
man. That must be the company like Fanatics. It's an offshoot of Fanatics, Headworms.
Right. Nice. Nice.
Then I got
Must
a
be,
couple
baby.
from Josh Westerhold. 61 Fleer Ray Carlton. Rookie
Nice.
card for the Bills. Daryl LaMonica,
Heck
66.
yeah.
And I got this in a modern sale for $5. A Khalil Shakir autograph.
Nice.
Well, yeah, the
He's
Bills'
pretty
number
good.
one
He's pretty good.
receiver. Yeah, it's like $5. Can't beat that.
Heck
And then
yeah.
my
He
final,
actually sent it to you.
yeah, actually sent it to me. And my final card of the week, and it left me a little bit. I mean, the card's really awesome, but I finally got a Greg Morris card, so I won this. This is the 59 Hank Aaron, and that thing
Right.
beautiful. But when I opened the package, like I expected, harps and trumpets and angels, and it's a Greg Morris card, and it was just in cardboard and stuck in the bubble mailer.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know what I was expecting being a Greg Morris card, and everybody falls all over themselves about it. But it is a beautiful card, and I got it. I really stole it.
Yeah. Yeah. You did get a good price on that. I've never even tried to win a Greg Morris auction. So I get blown away how crazy. Anyway. Yeah.
It ended at a
We can do
weird
a whole show
time.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. All right. Well, those are cool, man. The the Shooter McGavin and the Jackie Moon cards, and you got the Hank. I remember you got the Hank. That was gorgeous and
A couple
really
weeks
nice
ago.
for too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then now Daryl LaMonica, he played for the Bills. Was he any good? Do you remember? Are you?
No,
That's before your time.
he was the backup to Jack Kemp. And then
Okay,
they traded him to the Raiders, and his career took off. But they bring him in off the bench. He's called the Mad Bomber, and
right.
he'd saved the day. And rumor had it like he had something going on with Lou Saban's wife, or who the hell knows. And then he traded him to the Raiders for Art Powell, who ended up being
Yeah.
a nothing. That was really the decline of the Bills in the mid '60s because they were AFL champions, 64, 65. And they lost in the championship game to go to the first Super Bowl with Kansas City. So they were really popping. But they lost to Monaco. They lost Cookie Gilchrist.
Now, why
Jack
did Cookie Gilchrist leave?
Cookie, it was money, I believe.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty certain it was his money. He was a pain in the ass. But
yeah,
he again, Cookie is kind of like the Luke Easter, if you really look at it. The similarities of Cookie Gilchrist and Luke Easter and that like underappreciation and people not really realizing how great they were. It's
yeah,
almost eerie how it parallels each other. But then he
yeah.
never really did anything. He was gone in a couple of years and never to be really heard from again. Off to Canada and hiding out.
I think he played for Miami for like a couple games.
Couple of games,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know, but
Denver, Miami, and then that was it.
yep, yep. Well, those are great cards of the week. I've got a couple myself, and this one here is I got to put on my readers because I think I need to get my eyes checked. 2020, Jesus, 2021 Leaf Art of Sport, Kari Yastrzemski, paint by numbers, 17 out of 25. So it's
Well,
a
that's cool.
9, which is cool. I got this for like $30. It was
Oh,
pretty.
that's awesome. That's beautiful. I love that stuff. Like
Yeah,
relics or bats or pieces of jockstrap or whatever that is. So yeah,
right.
that's a great card. Holy cow, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, and it reminds me of Christmas kind of, even though it's just like kind of art.
Hmm.
But it's got like green and red in it, and it's got pieces of bat. They say so. Who knows if that's really his bat? But for the price, I couldn't beat it. And then got a couple of cool OPG. Yes, I got this 73,
All right.
uh, a 3. So it's off center, whatever. I don't care. It's in my stash. And then I also got this one. This one here I bought off ComC, and you can buy a card and they'll send it into grade for you for $16. So I bought that raw, you
Wow.
know, it got a 5 on it. It's a 72 OPG. Yeah, so I felt very fortunate to get a 5 on that, just never even handling the card.
Yeah.
And so that came back, and that's
16 bucks. You can't beat it. They're like $30 right now.
right, right. So yeah, you buy a card on there, and they'll send it to you if you tell them to for $16. They handle the shipping and everything. It's pretty cool deal actually. So that's where I got that one, and that's the first really. I didn't really actually send it, but that's the first card that
Yeah.
I can technically say that I
Yeah, you
sent.
looked at it, you sent it off
Yeah,
to get graded. That's cool.
right. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So those are really mine. And then I wanted to mention this. I know I put it on the show page. This is freaking amazing. Chris
Hmm.
Frank made this box for 71 Tops Baseball. I told him he should sell them, but I mean, it's got actual cards on the. It's got a Bobby Bonds and a George Scott there on the end there. So he used
Oh,
actual
you use
cards.
real cards?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
those are actual cards. I can feel them. And then just some cutouts. Got all the biggies of the set
Hmm.
on there. So, and
That's cool.
he hand painted the box blue. So I
Wow.
mean that's kind of crazy. So
That is beautiful.
yeah, thank you, Chris. As soon as I get my set out of the binders, I'm going to put it in this box, and it'll go on my forever shelf. So thank you very much, Chris Frank. So that's what I have for cards of the week. So
And Chris is
you know,
awesome. He's a great guy. Really,
yeah,
one of the better
yeah,
friends that we have, I think.
I think so too, actually.
Good
Well,
dude.
let's get into what happened to you this week with your banning.
Oh,
What
my
happened?
banning. Yeah. So if we remember last show where I had the odyssey of the auctions and taking 3, 4 weeks to get my cards, and then they got mad at me because I was like, "Where's my stuff?" And they told me to read the fine print. And then the guy in the guy auction, he banned me. So I'm gonna put you on the do not bid list. I'm like, why? Just because I'm asking for my stuff. And the site is called Amazing Finds. So if anybody's ever on Auction Zip, and they see amazing finds, and it's really amazing shit because the cards are really not that great. They're just low end cards, dollar cards. I'd buy some as filler for my sales and just trying to help the guy out. And the guy says, "Well, I'm going to put you on the do not bid list." So, anyways, I sent him. I was having a bad day. I get it. Yada yada. Blah blah blah. It takes you a month to send me the cards. Who cares? So there's some, low grade stuff, a lot actually of like, I don't know, like 18 cards. And so I'll bid on that for a couple bucks. And there it was. You're not eligible to bid. He put me on the do not buy list. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Wow.
Yeah,
So is
man.
there, I mean, I know you won't do this, but is there any way it's kind of like if you block somebody on Facebook, they can't really reach out to you. Is there any way you can reach out to them?
Well, I could
Is that,
email him, but I don't,
yeah,
I thought everything was resolved. He was all apologetic and, but he put me on the do not bid list. So amazing find. So if you're ever on Auction Zip and you're searching for cards, just bypass amazing finds because, they're not very customer. And the whole way when that went down in the beginning, the guy basically attacked me, like for having
yeah,
the audacity to say, "Hey, man, it's been like 3 weeks. Where's my cards?"
right.
It says
Did
read
he
the
even give
fine
you
print.
tracking?
Yeah, what's that?
Did he give you tracking in that
Finally
time?
did, and they came, and everything was
Yeah,
fine. But he said, "Well, on the fine print it says we can, wait 30 days to ship your stuff." I'm like, "Oh, okay, fine."
yeah. That seems like a long time. 30
Yeah.
days. That seems
Yeah.
excessive, but maybe it's a one man operation and he's just
That's
really
what he
rude
said.
and
I mean, he said you
yeah,
didn't have time to go to the post office every day. I said, "Well, I understand that, but maybe once a week."
right. Right. And at least be communicative and let you know what's going on, if nothing
Yeah.
else.
So I've been banned.
Somebody
Yeah,
yeah,
banished,
yeah,
banished.
just
I've been
ban you.
banished.
Well,
Can you
I don't
believe?
know. It's kind of crazy, man, the way that this all works. People I've noticed there's a lot of different personalities and some of them aren't real nice, in
No.
this hobby. So I don't
Mm-mm.
know, man. But I wanted to talk a little bit about y'all's show that you did last week where my internet was down because I thought that was really good.
Oh,
I
thank you.
enjoyed watching that.
Yeah.
And Kelly and Patrick, bless their hearts, are doing a good job and plugging away at it. And I think that you guys were good together and I enjoyed watching it. So I'm really sorry that I missed that, everybody. That would have been fun. And, you know, getting into y'all were talking a little bit about the draft and I said, it's probably a good thing I wasn't on that because they were saying how much competition you guys have in the AFC East.
Yeah.
There's yeah. Uh,
I don't know. I don't.
it,
I think New England will be improved, but other than that, I don't really. I mean,
I think we're taking a step backwards this year, man. I don't know what to say right now. Do you have any thoughts on the Bills draft? Did you look at it at all, or
Harrison, the cornerback, nice, fast, can run. Obviously, they loaded up on defense. They did the right things. Their defense was terrible last year, and
yeah,
they basically drafted all defense, and they got some big bodies and some fast corners, and it
right,
should be good. And they got Tre'Davious White back, so they definitely should be really good. They got Joey Bosa. And
yeah,
Rousseau returning Rousseau is really good. So their defense should be just dynamite. And as good as Josh Allen is, I mean, the Bills' defense since McDermott's been there has always been like top five, top three usually.
right.
And last year it just wasn't there, so it was good to see him retool. And
What is Von Miller coming back or is he
no,
done?
he's done. He got released. He's long gone.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
mean, you could say maybe they need a number one wide receiver, but Josh won the MVP, and so
right.
I guess it works.
Without a true number one, which blows my mind because that just tells you how good he is.
But if
I think
Coleman
he's
steps up, Shakir keeps going. I mean, if Shakir has another step like he did last year, now you're talking about a guy that's he's a top 10 receiver. So
yeah,
I'm excited. There he is, Khalil Shakir. I think he'll have a
right.
big year. And
Well,
so
I'm hoping that we can have 7 or 8 wins this year. I think we're stuck in neutral, if not a little bit of reverse. Tyreek is Tyreek, and Jalen Ramsey wanting out now. Jalen Ramsey's funny. He gets paid and then he decides he wants to leave
right,
somewhere, and that's been his mo everywhere.
yeah.
So I'm not sure why I'm surprised, but we drafted a big defensive tackle at 13, which we need defensive backs, and then they got a good traded up to get a good lineman, so I'm pretty happy with that. Some guy from Arizona. I can't.
What'd you
He's
think
got
of Sanders falling to the fifth round?
a. Well, uh, God, that's crazy, isn't it? He went from top five to maybe being the number one overall pick to the fifth round in just Siberia too, right? Cleveland.
Yeah,
God, oh man, my take on that: be careful the company that you keep. You know, for one, just there's a lot of baggage that comes with him. It seems like, and I hate to say it about Dion, but he's a big part of that baggage.
yeah,
And two, if you're going to a combine interview, act like you've never been there before.
yeah.
They always say act like you've been there before, but in that case, you need to be a little bit more humble. And from what I understand, he was not humble. He feels
Yeah.
very entitled and just is the anointed one. What's your
I
thoughts
heard
on
like in the interview, one of the interviews with the GM, he had one of his buddies on FaceTime, and he didn't hang up with his buddy, so he's got his buddy on the FaceTime while he's doing an interview with the GM, and that's not
Wow.
good. Regardless of
No.
what, even if you're interviewing for a job at McDonald's, it's just common practice not to do that. And I think I was talking to Dr. Ford because she was like the draft nut. I mean, she puts Mel Kiper to shame. Man, my wife, she was the good Dr. Ford. She was all over the draft. And
Really? That's
oh
funny.
yeah, she was nonstop, wall to wall, keep me updated, total
Okay.
draft coverage with Dr. Ford. We should get her on ESPN. She's amazing. And when I was talking to her, I said, this is an instance where the NIL hurt somebody because that hunger that, is not there. I mean, if he was making legitimately $5 million a year, and by the look of his swag and his pad and all that, I think that's probably true. If he's making $5, $10 million a year in college, he doesn't have that hunger in the NFL. You got your money, you're getting
Yeah.
paid, you got
Yeah.
bank. You don't understand that, the next level is a profession. It's the next, I mean, you're going up the ranks. So I think that's a case where NIL really kind of hurt him.
Yeah. And you could totally see that happening more and more. The NIL, I think, is they needed to do something, but I don't think that that's really doing a service to a lot of those guys, like you said.
They did need to do something, but it's not working out, especially in basketball. Oh my God, those guys are, one and done, and
Right.
even college football. I mean, they're going all over the place, and you got like 25-year-old 7-year quarterbacks, been in college for 7 years. I mean, it's just crazy how it's all changed.
Now, how does that work? I thought the NCAA said you only have basically 4 years of eligibility and maybe five if you have a red
We
shirt
use
or
the
a.
end of the COVID stuff. So with COVID, so if you
Okay.
went in as a freshman and you ended up getting like a couple extra years, then you had an injury year, a redshirt year, and then you get the transfer year. So yeah, so his was you're gonna see that kind of start to go back to normal because I
Okay.
think that this is the last year where like COVID will really impact the draft.
Right. Right. Well, we drafted Quinn Ewers from Texas, so I'm interested to see. We got him pretty late, from what I understand. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it, but we got him pretty late, and somebody, and we also signed Zach Wilson to back
Yeah, I
up
saw that
Tua.
was a while ago. And I
That was a
felt kind of
while.
bad, like on their show on Card Blitz Weekly, because they wanted to get into the draft. And, from the Bills' lofty perch, I mean, it is what it is. I
Yeah.
don't really care about the top five or what's going on up at the front of the draft. And really, whoever the Bills bring in is not going to do much. They really haven't. I can't think of a draft pick that's really made an impact. Maybe Terrell Bernard a couple years ago. I think he was like a third round pick. So, it's just not Cyrus Torrance alignment, second round pick a couple years ago, offensive line. So they don't really get the big splash out of the top of the draft. I
Right.
can't.
They haven't really had a big splash guy since they drafted Josh, really.
Yeah, I mean Tre'Davious White, I think is probably Tre'Davious White, Josh
Yeah.
Allen. You're going back 7, 8 years.
Right. Right. Well, interesting times. And I think you guys really, I hate to say it, but not a lot of competition from us this year. But hopefully we can retool and Tua can stay healthy and we'll see what happens. So,
Yeah,
we'll
it
do a
was
football
fun.
show.
It was good
But
to be on another show just to see how things are with other shows, other people. So.
right, right. And I it looks like you had a good time with it. And I'm
Yeah,
I'm
I
just sorry
wish
that
you
I
were
missed it.
there. I mean, we would have tore it up. I might have got MA-17 if you were there. I don't know, but I behaved. I didn't want to. I didn't want to let you down and embarrass my brother. So I was pretty straight on.
you nothing you can do really short of something crazy would be embarrassing to
Well,
me,
it's not
man.
our
So,
show, you know.
yeah,
So,
that's
and that's you got to be respectful because I'm liable to go nuts.
right, right. Well, I mean, I don't have a whole lot else this week. I've been running crazy sales and just wiped out, man.
Yeah, you've
I
been
did.
killing it. I see that. You've been. I'm gonna have a
Uh,
good sale next weekend. Probably nothing through the week, but I got some really crazy stuff coming.
well,
Some.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to be down in Orlando on Sunday, and
Mhm.
I'll probably have some free time. You want to maybe try to get another show in on Sunday?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Okay, and I'll come see you on Friday, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to come visit Room Six,
come
and
see room
I, I
six.
think I think Kavorka's talking about maybe trying to come in there, so we'll see.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely. We'd love to
he's
see it. It'd
down
be
there.
great.
You got anything else you
The
want to talk
kids
about
always
this week?
love. Yeah, the kids always love when you come by. They love Professor Greg.
They really think I'm actually your brother too, which is kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. We won't dissuade them from that. Yeah, hey, my
That's
brother,
cool.
get you
Well,
in
do
the
you have
door.
any right? Do you have anything else you want to talk
No,
about
I'm
this
good.
week?
That's it. I just got home from work and I want to get something out. And again, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Kelly and Patrick, for having me on their show. And we'll
Absolutely.
return the favor at some point and have them on here.
Okay, man. Well, I'll get in touch later on in the week, and we'll do a show this weekend. We'll talk. We'll get a little more in depth about some stuff.
All right, everybody. Thank you.